Lucky me, I'm visiting Il Gattopardo restaurant, and it's located in the old Rockefeller townhouse, and it serves the best Southern Italian cuisine. Welcome to Taste of New York. I'm John Haggins. I'm here with Gianfranco Sorrentino, and he is the owner, proprietor of this wonderful restaurant, Southern Italian Cuisine. You are going to love it. Gianfranco, it's so good to be back with you and to share your beautiful food. Not only beautiful, it's tasty, it's fresh, it's wonderful.
Thank you very much, John. It's so nice to have you back because it's been a very incredible 18, 19 months.
Oh, yes, yes. And fortunately, you're doing very well. You're outside, the outside dining is fantastic, indoors fantastic. It's wonderful to see people out and dining and also having the COVID-19 shot, which is so important. You know? And they must show their, the COVID ID when they come in, and it just makes sense that everybody knows that everybody's safe. It's so important, you know. We've seen an incident where people were objecting and they were going through. They don't need that. What they need is this shot. It's free. Go and get it.
I agree with you 100%. The new rules, New York State and the CDC rules, they impose that we check everybody, and everybody has to prove that they've been vaccinated, period. And we are very happy with that because that makes our customer feel safe too. Absolutely. They know that whoever is sitting next to them is vaccinated. Our staff is 100% vaccinated. Our staff still wear the mask and all the guidelines by the CDC about the safety and hygienic.
Absolutely. You know, it's such an easy thing. You know, people can just go and do it. They took the measles, they took all the other shots. Why not take this shot and not complain? You know, it's just really kind of stupid. But besides that, the wonderful thing is we have great food here, and I just had a great party at your other restaurant. Loved it. And the menu that you designed was sensational. Everybody had the best time. And and with the murals on the wall and everything, the ambiance was fabulous, as it is here. So it's just, all of your restaurants are wonderful, and I always feel so comfortable when I come here. I feel like it's home.
It is. That is our concept, that our guests, they have to feel that they are our guests in our home. They feel comfortable, they have to feel welcomed, and we must provide good food, good ambience, good service, but overall hospitality. Absolutely. It means to feel it, to be behind the customer and precede their needs, to make them happy for everything they want to do.
Chasing Wild Ass. It's not what you're thinking. It's a narrative of my travel around the world. I have interspersed photos and recipes to whet your appetite and allow you to dream, discover, and rediscover these great destinations. The title came about while I was in Kutch Wild Sanctuary chasing jackasses in India. Chasing Wild Ass is adventure, it's culinary, it's history, and it's a lifestyle with a bit of humor to spice it up. Chasing Wild Ass, the book, is more than 500 pages exploring the world. Remember, my world is your world. So get up, get out, and travel.
Hello, I'm Vito Gnazzo. I'm the executive chef of the Gattopardo. So now we're going to do the couscous. Couscous, it might sound you not Italian, but it is Italian. In Sicily we use couscous, in Sardinia they use fregola. So it's the same family of the couscous. The only thing in Sardinia is a different way to make it. I'm going to have a ragu of couscous, which is a little bit of calamari, scallops, some fish, which is branzino, some shrimps. Shrimps is typical from Sicily, Mazzara del Vallo. It's a very famous red shrimps. We start with the longer cooking fish, which is the sea bass and the calamari. And the shrimps. I like to add to the fish a little bit of a pesto made with shallots, parsley, and anchovies. Shallots, anchovies, and parsley, which gives you an extra flavor to the ragu. So we let it golden. Got some flavor. This doesn't take too much to cook. It only takes 2 or 3 minutes. We don't want to overcook, because when you overcook, you change all the flavor. It's beautiful to taste the fish, very fresh, very simple, very... Okay, so at this point it's almost ready, but just a splash of white wine. You don't want to add too much white wine, because if you add too much white wine, and then it's going to be too bitter. And then we add the lobster, the clams, the mussel, the clams. That's what gives you extra flavor. That's the beauty of it, to be very simple. And when you eat a dish, you know what you're eating. The clams, the mussel, they just open, fresh parsley to give some flavor, some fresh tomato, some fresh olive oil, and a pinch of pepper, which is must go there.
And it's very hot pepper flakes.
It is, that's from Calabria.
Yeah.
The idea is to give some 3. I guess everyone knows how to cook the couscous, steam it. So it should be very easy to cook the couscous.
It's also Middle Eastern as well as Mediterranean, the couscous.
Yeah. That's where it comes from. Just accommodate the rest of the fish on the couscous.
Oh, and that great sauce. Oh my God.
Yeah, believe me, this is one of the, it's like being in Sicily.
You know what's really nice is the bouquet. It's amazing. From where I'm standing, I can also taste it just by the smell.
So now we are doing some rigatoni pasta, which is a dry pasta with some celery, red onions, capers, and fresh tuna. So I will call Genovese with the tuna. Usually in the Amalfi coast, Campania, I would say too. Genovese is very popular. They make it with a pig, with a pork, or with a beef, veal, whatever. Every family has a different version to make it, the Genovese. But in this case, we are making it with just tuna, some celery. It's very typical, a little bit from north of Italy. It became a very national dish from Italy. Red onions and fresh tuna. As you know, it depends on which brand. The yellowfin tuna comes from Mediterranean, from Europe, and most of it goes to Japan. Even here in New York City, you might find a good quality tuna. Okay, so this now is ready to serve. That's it. So this is very typical in Europe, all over the Mediterranean. It's called rombo in Italy. In America we call it turbo. It's a white fish. It can be 3 to 4 pounds. It can reach even over a 10-pound fish, 10 to 15 pounds, depending on the region where it comes from. Usually bigger it is, better it is, because it has more flavor. If it's too young, it doesn't have too much flavor. The best way we made olive oil and lemon. I do prefer when the fish is when it's so fresh. You don't want as much. That's my attitude to fish. When it's so fresh, you just want to keep it the natural taste. Just olive oil and lemon, which is very typical of the south of Italy, to keep the flavor very intact.
Here we go, signori, buongiorno. This is a turbo. We're gonna debone for you. This is the turbo, signori. My name is Luigi. I work here at Gattopardo. We're gonna take the skin off and take all the bones from the fish. Here we go. That's the tail. We got this on the side.
Did they ever make soup with the tail or the skin?
And the chef he knows how to use the rest of the fish.
Oh.
Yes.
Because you don't want anything to go to waste.
No.
That is a huge fish.
Yeah, that's a beautiful turbo. So we got to make sure
It's so
that,
delicate.
yes, we got to make sure no bones will be here.
Actually, it's an artistry when you debone the fish.
Yeah, it's like a doctor.
Yeah, exactly. Did you have to study in order to do this?
You know, you don't study, you learn on the go.
Would this serve like 4 people normally?
Yes, yes.
Like a
Could
whole
serve
family
four.
could have it.
Oh yeah, flip the fish first.
And then what's on the other side?
Still fish.
That's very funny. Did you have to study in order to do this?
You know, you don't study, you learn on the go. It's like I've been here and learned all these techniques, you know, Gattopardo.
It's a
I
lot
learned
to
how to
learn.
clean the fish,
Right.
how to do zabaione, everything.
Oh, everything here is so delicious anyway, and so fresh.
Eccoci qua, signori, turbo.
Oh my God, is that gorgeous? That
All
is
the
absolutely
bonnet.
exquisite.
Signori, this is the turbo where I filleted for you. Would you like some olive oil, signori?
Yes, yes, thank you.
Eccoci qua, some Umbria olive oil. Eccoci qua. Little drizzle of olive oil. This
Okay.
is a little olive oil from Umbria.
Wonderful.
Please enjoy your turbo.
Thank you.
I will squeeze some fresh lemon because olive oil and lemon are delicious on the grilled fish. Let's start.
And tell me, what are we eating? Because this looks absolutely marvelous.
This is the turbo, we call in Italy rombo. The turbo comes from the Mediterranean or from the North Sea, like Finland, Sweden, etc. This particular is from the Mediterranean Sea. It's a delicious fish, mild, but on the same time is also consistent, is nice, fresh. We just got this today. And Vito makes in the very simplest way, just broiled with a little olive oil, little lemon we squeeze on top, and some fresh herbs. You eat it, if you close your eyes, you feel you are in Capri or in Costiera Amalfitana.
Well, you know, I can't wait to dig in because Vito was doing such a wonderful job just illustrating how he's preparing all of these dishes, you know, and I think it's just absolutely amazing.
Yes, Vito is a special guy. I do believe that, I've been traveling around, I've been working with many chefs. I think that Vito is one of the most talented because after so many years here in the United States, and me and Vito, we've been working together for over 30 years, he still keeps the Italian flair. He still has got that magic that even when he makes something that is his own creation, his own food, still you can taste the culinary culture of Italy. You can taste the freshness of the product, the simplicity of the cooking method, and really the spirit of Italian food in everything he does.
Oh, Viva Italy! Not only the food is the food fresh, but it introduces you to another culture, which I think is interesting too. I mean, I watched the guy make the ravioli. I mean, I said, my God, someone really makes ravioli?
Yeah.
And he really, did everything to prepare it. And I thought, this is fascinating.
Thank you.
Every dish is hand prepared and specially done for each meal. It's freshly cooked, which is wonderful because you're not getting, the typical whatever. And I think it's really the best.
You said something very right, because for me the authenticity is also to respect the product. In the meaning, everything we do here is from scratch. We don't prepare anything before. The breadstick, they are made here. We have one guy that comes only from I think 6 o'clock in the morning to 4 o'clock in the afternoon to bake breadstick, because we make it here also for the other two restaurants, the Leopard and the Fusion, when we open for mozzarella and vino. All the pasta, fresh pasta, are made here in the restaurant. The fish is cooked à la minute. You order it, we make it. You know, the risotto is cooked à la minute. You order, we make it. We don't believe in a pre-cooked food. This is the real Italian food. Simplicity, few ingredients, and the freshness of the raw material.
Just like Mama used to make.
Exactly.
And Grandma.
Exactly.
And the family, you know, I think the chefs, I'm sure Vito learned from his grandmother and his mother.
Yes.
Just watching them prepare all these special dishes, it's just, I don't know. And my favorite food is Mediterranean food.
Yes.
I just love it. Not only because it's fresh, but it's just light, and it just makes sense.
And it's healthy, especially nowadays, in these days that the people is with so many sickness due to the food, I mean, allergy and things like that. We do believe that it's very important to not only serve delicious food, but also healthy, kind of food that doesn't make you sick in the long time. And all this deficiency, the allergy, they are due that when we start to move from the artisanal product to the mass industrial product, you know. And we really care about it. We care so much that we have done classes, me, Vito, Paola, at the New York University, the St. John's University, where we teach about the ancient grain, about the whole grain, about the whole wheat pasta, the breads, you know, why we should, let's say, invest more in what we eat, in the meaning, increase the budget of our food, because it's something that we put inside our body instead of buying super fancy, expensive clothes, you know. It's so strange because when we do these classes with the kids, I can see all of them, they have the last model of the iPhone, of the iWatch, etc. But then they go to eat fast
McDonald's.
food. Exactly. You know, we have to change the culture. We have to change and make sure that the kids, they know that to eat good, healthy is very, very important.
It's extremely important. I hesitated for a moment because I was tasting this wonderful wine. What is this wine, by the way?
This is a wine called Pallagrello and Fiano from Casertaria. The winemaker, Ascione, he doesn't make this wine anymore. We have the last 4 or 5 cases that we got from Italy. This is a 2018 vintage. He didn't make anymore because he thought that he reached the top of the quality. He couldn't increase, so he decided, I'm not going to make this wine anymore.
He's an artisan. Chasing Wild Ass. Oh, it's not what you're thinking. It's all about my travel around the world. I have interspersed photos and recipes to whet your appetite and allow you to dream and discover and rediscover these faraway destinations. The title came about while we were in Koch Wild Ass Sanctuary chasing jackasses in Gujarat, India. Chasing Wild Ass is food for the soul. It's adventure, it's history, it's culture, it's culinary, and it's a lifestyle. Chasing Wild Ass will entertain you and massage your soul. It's a celebration of life. You have to live every moment as if it's your last. My world is your world. So remember, get up, get out, and travel. What I love also is this atrium, which goes up, 6 stories, I think?
Correct.
And
this side of the building is the famous Rockefeller Townhouse. And this one is on the other side of 55th Street. This is 54th, this is 55th. So in 1956, when Rockefeller died in this building, they sold the building, and the new developer bought this one, bought the building on 55th Street. This was the courtyard, and they put the skylight on top.
Fantastic.
So when we came, we leveled everything because it was a step going down, up, etc. We leveled everything. We made sure we have the emergency exit. So we have one beautiful room that we use mainly for events.
yes, it's a great event room. I mean,
Yes.
you could have one long table for, what would you say, a maximum of how many people?
One long table for about 40 people.
Fantastic.
Or we can accommodate in this room 60 people, in the other room about 40, 50 people. So together we can accommodate about 100, 110 for sit-down dinner. And for a cocktail reception, about 140 people.
It's wonderful.
It is. We
It's
are very,
it's a
very
beautiful
happy.
room.
Yeah.
Lots of light during the day,
Yeah.
and I think it's very romantic too.
Yes, it is.
You know, I'm sure they've had weddings here as well.
Oh yes, we have any kind of party. We have weddings, we had the bar mitzvah, we had a birthday. Actually, we're doing another birthday, 102 years old lady.
Is that the same lady?
No, it's a different lady than that one. And so we hope that everything goes all right and we're going to see the lady coming in and celebrate the 102 years old. We do a lots of corporate. We have a party next week, I think, for the future mayor of New York, Adam. We had Hillary Clinton, we had so many people, you name it, everybody has been passing by, Paul McCartney, Stanley Tucci, and celebrating something here. Also because we are across the street from MoMA, we cater a lots of artists as well.
Which is wonderful. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, we are very happy.
I know that Kaidi loved the place too, Kaidi Tom.
Yes, exactly, yeah.
She's been to your both restaurants, as a matter of
Yes,
fact,
yes.
and she loved it.
Beautiful. I'm very glad
And
she
she said
enjoyed
she's
it.
coming back. And she loved the food.
That's the most important thing.
Oh,
Anyway.
oh, yes, yes.
I
And you
al-
also had the president of Ecuador?
Oh yes, yesterday was the president of Ecuador because of the UN Assembly, and some of the kids that work with us, I'd say kids because they are much younger than me, they were so happy because they are from Ecuador. So after he finished the lunch, I asked the president if it was possible to take a picture, and he said, of course. So I called all the kids that are from Ecuador, and they had a picture
group
with
picture.
their president, that they were so happy.
Oh, yes.
Also because they really like this president. They say he's very, very liberal, very doing things happening, and you know he pushed the vaccination, so seems that they have a 60% people vaccinated
That's
over
very
there. You know, the housing for people with low income or unemployment and things like that. So they were very, very happy to see their president.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's a wonderful country. I've been there.
Yeah, I haven't been there yet.
And Guayaquil and the main big city, which I don't remember the second, but it was just amazing. And also, everything was so inexpensive. We had a three-course dinner for two, and the bill was $21. I said,
Wow.
I think you made a mistake. And they said, no, that's the bill. I said, what?
Yeah.
That's impossible. But you know, it's also a different culture,
Yes, it is.
and that's what travel's about. And the fact that you have people from Ecuador who now understand Italian cuisine,
Yeah.
as well as their own cuisine. So you have a great, like a United Nations, everyone getting together and experiencing different cultures. It's fabulous. You
It
know,
is.
and that's what it's really about.
This is New York. You know, it's the melting pot. You know, there
Absolutely.
is not such a city like in New York, because really New York doesn't have its own identity. In the meaning, the identity of New York is made by all different kind of people that come here, and we melt together, and we love to be together. And after all, what they say, where are you from? I am from New York. Are you American? No, I am from New York.
John Hagen's A Globetrotter is like no other travel book in the world. When I think of travel, I think of friends from around the world. I've traveled to Malaysia, Thailand, India, everywhere. You're going to absolutely love the book. And the recipes, you will whet your appetite with these incredible aromatic recipes. Remember, my world is your world. So get up, get out, and travel.
If something is no good, we don't accept it. In the morning, we have the receiver who receive all the vegetables, the fish, the fruit, etc. And he has been trained for years that he has to smell it, to touch it, you know, and to see if it's too ripe or it's too raw, you know, and make sure that everything is perfect. Because the basic of the Italian cuisine is the raw material. You know, they have to be fresh, perfect, and very simple cooking method, you know, it has to be very simple. We want to enhance the freshness of the ingredients. I like my fish with olive oil, lemon, and I want to taste the fish. I don't want to taste the cream and all the sauces, you know, and things like that.
That was the French who were doing that to disguise the bad food, the bad meat. They would make all these sauces, you know.
I cannot say that, but you say that, and I agree with you.
And it's terrible. I mean, you know, the point is keep it simple
Yes.
and pure and fresh.
Yeah. Exactly.
3 words, that's all you need in a restaurant.
I agree completely with you.
And then people come back because they know it's guaranteed to have good food. That's why I've been here so many times,
Yeah.
because I love the good food.
You know, a few days ago at the Leopard, we were looking on the records of our clients, and we have several clients, one Jack that has been 1,288 times at the restaurant.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
And we have another one.
That's
Mr.
more than me.
You're very close. We have another guest that Mr. Pivar, an art collector, lives next door, but practically he comes 6 days a week for dinner. He comes, he sits only at the bar, he knows the drink, we know what he drinks, he loves the food. He was on the, it's very interesting because he was on the newspaper a few weeks ago that he sold a Van Gogh for $30 million. So I told him, Mr. Pivar,
Wait a second,
listen
was
to...
it his Van Gogh?
Yeah. So I told him, Mr. Pivar, if you give me a Van Gogh, I'm going to cook for you for the rest of your life. And he said, you have a deal. So I'm waiting.
How fantastic.
Yeah.
And poor Van Gogh never made any money.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, everyone's
Yeah.
making money on Van Gogh.
Yeah.
But that's history,
Yeah.
you know, and it's purity. And it was at the Whitney, as a matter of fact, that first, the 8th floor had photographs, great. Next floor had all these strange things. I went over and I said to one of the people there, I said, what is that? She says, look at the sign. And I looked and it says, a log with a knot. I said, that's not art. Art is painting and pure, you know, just making something creative, not just some splash of paint on a wall. And, but you know, it's all relative to what one considers, but it's not what I consider art.
Yeah.
But anyway, life is so different. Every day changes, and the most important thing is to have good food in your body, to be healthy, and you know, and look forward to the future.
Yes.
And I think that's the way to go. And I thank you so much for sharing this wonderful meal, and I will be back.
Thank you very, very much, John. It's always a pleasure to cook and to eat with you. Chin chin.
I toast
to the
to
next
you.
next time.
Until next week, I'm John Higgins, and this is the Taste of New York. We're here at El Gattopardo at 13 West 54th Street. So until next week, see you then. You know, New York offers lots of international cuisine. See you next week at another delightful experience. So long for now.